Let's deconstruct this design from Indiana Bible College. The first thing we're going to do is pull in our paper texture. Once we have our paper texture set, we can start laying out our type. Now the typeface we are using for this design is called Benzin semi-bold. We'll go ahead and type in IBC Live here, change that typeface, and we're going to set our tracking to 20. Once we've done that, we can use a transform tool to pull it up to size. We're going to condense it just a little bit. Now we're going to make a text box and type in tickets are live. We'll take that type size down to 8, keep 20 as tracking, but we're going to take our paragraph style to justify. This is going to spread our text across that entire box. Now we're going to move to our URL, live.indianabible.college. We'll get that in place. Use our transform tool again to get that to the correct size. Then we're going to go to our rectangle tool and make sure we have a black stroke at 9 pixels, and then we can put our 2023 year. Same typeface. Actually, we're going to take that down to Benzin medium. We'll move that into place, then use our transform tool to condense it just a little bit. Now we get to the fun part. We get to start adding texturing. So we're going to throw this in a new group, convert it to a smart layer, then filter, blur gallery, add field blur. Now what field blur is going to allow us to do is create multiple points around the design and have different levels of blur at each of those points. So we're going to use anywhere from 2 to 4 pixels for these different points, and some of them are going to be 0, keeping it nice and crisp near the middle. And once we have the blur done, we can create a new file and name it displacement map. And here we're going to bring in the same paper texture layer, but we're going to use Command I to invert it, take our opacity down to 35, and then save that file. Once you have that file saved, you go to Filter, Distort, Displace, and once you click OK, it's going to allow you to pull in that same displacement map that we just made. And this is what is really going to start adding the texture to all the edges of the letters. After we've done this, we have just a couple more details to do. We're going to duplicate that and turn off the blur gallery on the second one to get some crispness back. Then we'll bring in this grunge texture, go to Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, and bring our saturation all the way down. And the reason we're going to do this is because we're going to clipping mask this down to our design and then use Command I to invert it. And this is going to leave just a little bit of the grain inside of the letters. Then we have one final step. We have some brush texturing. You can just use a grunge brush and manually add some different texturing details. You can go crazy with this. But this is our reconstructed design. So thank you for joining me for this design deconstruction.